Hello and welcome to another episode of the Best Automatic. I'm your host, Captain Gorgeous. And I'm your host, Captain Know-It-All. And I'm your host, Captain Pervert. So, somewhere in the whole entire world, someone complained about our recent episode, saying that we didn't do any car challenges, that we were more focused about me losing my James Bond virginity and me complaining that it was done in black and white. But if you really think back about them latest episodes where the producers were annoyed that I didn't know anything about James Bond, here is a bit of a backflash example.
Started an interest for female drivers of a Mustang and cemented high sales with Thunderball in 1965 film, where Fiona Vlope drives a blue Ford convertible Mustang and 1965 Thunderball by Tilly, driving a white Mustang convertible, and in Goldfinger in 1964. In 1969, Mickey Thompson helped with Mustang's popularity by setting a 295 speed record and 500-mile 24-hour course on the Bonneville Soul Flats for a Hot Rod magazine feature. So the Mustang is a popular Bond car, but wasn't an epic Q branch given car to Bond like gadget cars like the DB5. The Mustang was standard Ford car, impressive but no gadget making it dull compared to the DB5, despite the Mustang's performance. Mustang isn't British, so can never be a pure blood Bond car. However, the DB5 car is.
I mean, there were plenty of vehicles in that film, Thunderbolt. One of the major popular films it was. I mean, the disappointment of the DB5 weren't hardly in it.
What do you mean it wasn't hardly in it?
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah, but the Aston Martin for Bond original resides now at Lowen Museum at Pebble Beach, just in case you know someone who is boastful owner of a silver birch DB5. A spy car claiming it's the original from Goldfinger and Thunderball movie, it means it isn't.
I mean, that's what it really did in the film, was spray water.
Is that all it did?
Well, yeah.
No, he got chased by a baddie, another baddie, the same baddie, took them out with a James Bond looking like motorbike, but...
Well, if you'd seen a previous Bond episode, you know that a lot of the gadgets were taken out before
I haven't seen
sale.
Bond, I don't even know who Bond is.
So, the only way you know it's the real one, if the car code is DP2161, then Sean Connery, that's the only one he drove. And the other one was used as a backup or publicity event to promote the movie on the red carpet. The DB5 is classed as a road car. In previous Bond videos, we have explained its ownership until today. I couldn't cope with...
Well, I can't cope not understanding who this character is.
Well, why don't you bleeding watch him?
I told you, my mum won't let me watch stuff like this because she said he's a bit of a weirdo, that James Bond, and he's not nice to women.
Well, that's true.
Well, no, he's alright, you know.
Well, as I was saying...
That's Bob Simmons, that.
Well, I couldn't cope with Bond's daily commute, as it's a gym workout on your arms, as its 1/8 of a turn is light for the pretend driving shots, so it wasn't designed for a proper commute.
Right.
Well, so now to the next one. It's been over 55 years since Thunderball's release, a high one in Bond fan channels and websites, despite many fans saying Goldfinger has the honour of being the best.
Yeah, but this one got more ratings and everything, because it was a right hyped-up movie, this
Well, that's what I meant by the channels and the websites.
And the merchandise and everything even went rocketed even more.
And then you got disappointed because there wasn't much of the DB5, was it?
Well, yeah, I told you that. Yeah, a bit of it in.
But I thought you were excited about the Mustang.
Oh, yeah, the Mustang, yeah, but we're on about the DB5, yeah. Oh, the Mustang just took over, didn't it? I mean, yeah, we've got Bond taking out the Mustang and Goldfinger, but no. This is the famous movie with the Mustang that made James Bond scared.
Right.
Yeah, because it was fast. Everyone remembers that. I've got this villainess what drives cars really fast and Bond's nearly doing something in his trousers department.
Well, did you know this film gave Ian Fleming a heart attack?
Oh yeah, that geezer, didn't it?
Yeah.
It might be other geezers what wrote this, didn't
Because
they?
it started as a film and then became a book. The other film started as Ian Fleming's book and then adapted to movies. However, Ian Fleming co-wrote Thunderball's screenplay with the producer Kevin McClory and screenplay writer Jack Whittingham. But this resulted in the first Bond legal battle due to Ian Fleming getting bored of the movie process, flew back to his home in Jamaica to write the Thunderball book. However, it didn't include Kevin McClory and Ian. He didn't recognise them, so obviously McClory sued. As Ian used elements from the film they worked on together, this court battle took its toll on Ian Fleming and he had his first heart attack. After his recovery, Ian took his lawyer's advice to settle out of court, and McClory got certain rights that led to him to become the executive producer 2 decades later on the Never Say Never Again. Ironically named because Sean Connery returned to the Bond role despite his intentions to distance himself from the franchise for personal privacy. As it got to the point, paparazzi took photos of him even on the toilet, and that was the last straw until this movie. Because of the producer's rights, is why Thunderball and Never Say Never Again had almost identical plots to each other. Sean Connery did not go to any Bond premieres due to over-enthusiastic fans that would become a mass hysteria and stampede. Security risks, many theatres stayed open 24 hours a day to screen the movie, and some cast members attended smaller premiere events, like Molly Peters, who played Teresa, who thinks she's seen the movie 16 to 18 times that year. Connery wasn't the only one who needed to recharge after Bond production, but so did the director Guy Hamilton. After Goldfinger's success, producers Chubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman wanted him to direct Thunderball, but declined due to not having the energy and drained of ideas. And due to his fondness of Bond, didn't feel he could contribute to the franchise until his batteries were fully recharged. Terence Young, who directed both Dr. No and Russia With Love, did Thunderball, and it was his final Bond film. Hamilton, after his recharge, directed Diamonds Are Forever, Live and Let Die, and The Man with the Golden Gun, starring Roger Moore after Queen's Majesty's service, with not Bond but famous Hello by George Lazenby, the one who clearly had a hard time filling Connery's shoes but not wanting to do the same as him at the time. An unfair position for the Australian actor to be in, but came off awkward with scenes like Hello in a kilt and representing Connery's Scottish heritage in real life, and opening scenes of this didn't happen to the other guy was more than cringeworthy for most Bond fans. And it didn't help that the on-screen awkwardness also went into the back-screen awkwardness, with other cast members didn't make him a continuing Bond like the rest. No matter if you feel this was deserving or not, he should have got a second movie to be more away from Connery's style, as the later Bonds did create their own unique style, and this was, hello, just misunderstood. Back to Thunderball's hundreds of keen actresses to get on the elite Bond girl list as the Domino Lady, but former Miss France got the role, Claudia Argo, an achievement with big names of the time like Faye Dunaway, Julie Christine, Rachel Welch, Lucia Paluzzi wanting the role. But Luciana was quite pleased because she was over the moon for getting the villain role of Fiona instead.
What scares Bond by driving a Mustang?
Yeah, that's what she found. She thought the villainess was way more interesting.
Well, she was. Like Bond's, when she's in the naked in the back, and she asked him, oh, give us some clothes, and he gives her some shoes.
Yeah, that's what I mean, he's a pervert.
Yeah, my mum said he was to someone. That's why she don't want me to watch it.
Yeah, but back to the car topic, the chase scene where Fiona uses rockets from a motorcycle to blow up Count Lippy's car. Stuntman Bob Simmons had the job of driving the car, who leaped out after the explosion. The crew looked for him in a panic, but he walked up behind the director, Terence Young, and casually asked if the scene was done right, after them all thinking he might have been dead. Some behind the footage shows Simmons trying to stand up, but he fell back into a ditch backwards near the flaming car, showing that it was a very narrow escape. Another great in Thunderball, or one of my favourites, is the army believing Q's tiny breathing apparatus allowing Bond to survive underwater in a pool of sharks was real. It only looked that way because Connery held his breath and almost forgot due to a shark finding a gap, causing Connery to be freaking out on camera for real. That scene isn't great acting, it's real, he's terrified of the shark.
Yeah, see, that's quality of James Bond there, isn't it, then? Yeah. Well, I still don't know who James Bond is. I mean, what's the bleeding story about then? Well, it's about a pirate dude who's just got eye patch on, and he works for a baddie called Spectre. What's James Bond's brother? Right, we'll find out later on, right? And they nicked these bombs what are down the bottom of a runway, and they got a health clinic where James Bond was occasionally staying for a bit, right? And this health clinic's got a torture rack or something.
You mean the spa?
Yeah, spa, but it's got a rack, hasn't it? You know, when them torture
yeah, like a medieval rack.
Yeah, and it looks like it's dry humping, and when they put it on full blast or something, it looks so funny. But it's alright, because the nurse comes along and he sort of bribes her that he's got a minced glove and he can sleep with her, or something like that. That's how it went. Because he blamed her for switching it on right fast or something. And everyone says that he emotionally blackmailed her to sleep with him.
Yeah, there was a lot of things like that.
Twisted. So my mum's right then. It's like it's all perverted, this James Bond.
It sounds worse describing it, but if you watch it...
What do you mean it sounds worse? It sounds worse with Captain Pervert. His icon is it, don't he?
Well, that's...
What are you getting at?
Well, that's why you named yourself Pervert.
That's why calling me Pervert. It's not like I'm a cool, sophisticated like this dude. I'm like James Bond, mate.
You think you're like James Bond?
Well, near enough. I mean, look how popular Bond was.
Well, it can't be that popular because I don't know what it is.
Well, you must be something wrong with you, Captain Gorgeous.
Well, yeah, because it's the longest going franchise. It's amazing that you haven't even seen one.
No, my mum won't let me.
But you're old enough to put them on.
This is a bit everyone remembers band about. Not the Aston Martin, but the Mustang.
Yeah,
the one what scared Bond.
Yeah, because a lot of women started buying the car because of the popularity of the women driving them.
Mustang was absolutely massive at the time. But sales were big. You didn't see every willy-nilly buying a DB5. That is much as how many times they sold a Mustang.
Yeah, but a Mustang was much cheaper than a DB5.
Caused it, showing how fast our Mustangs were. The iconic Bond character was scared. But there's one person out there wasn't scared of the Mustang, but went over the top, was Rockstar. Yeah, Rockstar based this car on another certain Mustang, a very popular Mustang.
Yeah, very similar. The Mustang Boss 302 is very similar in features to this GTA car. The real 1969 and 1970 production, and then they produced it again in 2012 and 13. Both were done in Michigan production lines, the retro one in Dearborn and 2000 at Flat Rock. Both kept Larry Shinoda's design for this 2-door 5-litre Roadrunner V8 in 2012 to 13 model, and the 5-litre Boss 302 V8. Both are manual for true petrol heads. 1969 and 17 was a 4-speed, and 2012 and 13 was a 6-speed. Back to the original 1670 model has a very interesting history, because the rival between Camaro and Mustang cars. The company Chevrolet Camaro was a branch of General Motors, but so was Ford at the time, based in Detroit, but again still a branch of General Motors. The Chevrolet branch or General Motor Company, but in the 60s and 70s it still was a hot internal rivalry, it became legendary. Chevy Mustang sales Cold War, as I see it. This still goes on today, like the Q3 2019 Challenger outsells Ford Mustang due to Mustang's decrease of 12% of interest in United States, Brazil, Mexico and South Korea. The modern Mustang is popular in Europe despite this Ford stock rise 1% in May 2020 despite its current situation with all car companies, where most stock has decreased like the giant General Motors that Chevrolet is still part of. So again, who's really winning between the two? Chevrolet sales, but Ford in stock value is winning. The car industry has always been volatile, but certainly is not at the time of this video. Before getting ideas of investing in Ford stability over GM at the moment, remember this volatility could end at any point, or it could carry on, so I wouldn't take that as stock advice from the best automatic.
I always had a bit of suspicion about the Boss one. I mean, it's my iconic car, but one thing I don't like is where the shape of the headlights have been on it. I mean, they look like they stick out. Not that initiative of the other Mustangs with the headlights.
What are you on about?
Well, you know, the lack of the motor. Anyhow, I bet that car's not that good going on two wheels.
What do you mean going on two wheels?
Well, that's our challenge today. That's what Bond does with Mustangs. He drives them on two wheels.
And you're moaning about the headlights, but now we've got to drive these cars on two wheels. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the challenge. That's what James Bond's world famous for.
The headlights aren't going to make a difference to going on two wheels.
Yeah, but you can't make they do that funny with the headlights. It doesn't got that same character to it.
Yeah, but some people like that.
It does like that, a bleeding Camaro with summer.
No, we're not boring. I want to know why we're driving on two wheels for.
Oh, bleeding hell, we've got to show him the clip.
Listen, you can drop me off at the next corner. This whole thing is getting a little out of hand. No regrets, but when you start stealing moon machines from Willard White, goodbye and good luck.
Just relax. I have a friend named Felix who can fix anything.
Is he married?
There goes that son of a bitchin' saboteur.
Relax, you've got a friend named Felix who can fix anything.
Unfortunately, so can Willard White. Are you dirty bastard? Larry got him. Sheriff. Attaboy, Larry. Come in. Larry. Sheriff. I got you now. Lean over.
So you may be impressed with that, with how James Bond escaped by going on two wheels. Obviously that the producers want me to actually attempt to do that vehicle stunt myself. Obviously we're on a lower budget that we had to do it with, well, doing it with a Mustang and doing it with a die-cast small car as well, because we haven't got that type of money. And obviously, well, I tried my best and replicating it and that, and even I don't know much about Bond, because I didn't know who Bond was, but obviously now I've first started watching my James Bond movie and everyone's like thinking, no, because I'm complaining it's in black and white. Well, I don't know what's going on. I've been going through the book and it's a lot different.
Well, it's a lot different because you got to turn pages.
Yeah, but Bond started off in a casino.
Well, he does in Doctor Now. That's why I told you to watch the beginning of Doctor Now, not jump into Casino Royale.
No, just give over the book. It's the original, isn't it?
Yeah, but the films are different, aren't they?
Well, they might be different, but you know, the book is better, isn't it?
Well, you don't know that yet, do you? Look, lads, instead of arguing, let's get onto a challenge, because we don't want that person complaining again, do we? Now we're down, so here we are. So, if you're not too sure what is actually going on, well, you should watch some other episodes and you'll know. Don't be insulted. So, as you can see, this character is our not-so-tame racing driver. Now, we do have two of them, but this is our insane one. Never mind, let's get on to it. Right, so as you can see, there's a clock on, and yes, we are having our not-so-tame racing driver driving on a treacherous road on horrible weather conditions. And the idea is that we are going to be driving some very large vehicles on the most dangerous road on that classic game GTA 5. Alright, don't interrupt.
Hey, you do know what happens when we did these, don't you?
What?
Well, I start playing audio than, you know, Casino Royale.
Well, yeah, we know, and it's a bit weird, you know. We want to listen to us commentating about the horrific, the expense of all this, you know. Well, yeah, because a lot of prodams do this, where people drive on the most dangerous roads, but this is our challenge. This is our not-so-tame racing driver. It's on a timer. And when we do this challenge, we've got to try to beat this expert driver, apparently. Well, yeah, we know that, don't we? But obviously, you know, not all of us are very good compared to the, not-so-tame racing driver. Well, yes.
But you're just rambling.
Well, this is what you do with these, aren't we? You know, we're just talking through it, you know, at the expense of all this danger and all that. Look, I mean, obviously, our Gimp is not the most considerate driver of respecting, like,
hikers, and that's why you might think, oh, yeah, well, yeah, yeah. As you can see,
Chapter 10. The High Table. While telling the story of the game and anticipating the coming fight, Bond's face had lit up again. The prospect of at least getting to grips with Le Chiffre stimulated him and quickened his pulse. He seemed to have completely forgotten the brief coolness between them, and Vesper was relieved and entered into his room. He paid the bill and gave a handsome tip to the sommelier. Vesper rose and led the way out of the restaurant and out onto the steps of the hotel. The big Bentley was waiting, and Bond drove Vesper over, parking as close to the entrance as he could. As they walked through the ornate anterooms, he hardly spoke. She looked at him and saw that his nostrils were slightly flared. In other respects, he seemed completely at ease, acknowledging cheerfully the greetings of the casino functionaries. At the door to the South Rivet, they were not asked for their membership cards. Bond's high gambling had already made him a favoured client, and any companion of his shared in the glory. Before they had penetrated very far into the main room, Felix Leiter detached himself from one of the roulette tables and greeted Bond as an old friend. After being introduced to Vesper Lind and exchanging a few remarks, Leiter said, "Well, since you're playing baccarat this evening, will you allow me to show Miss Lynn how to break the bank at roulette? I've got 3 lucky numbers that are bound to show soon. I expect Miss Lynn has some too. And then perhaps we could come and watch you when the game starts to warm up." Bond looked inquiringly at Vesper. "I should love that," she said, "but will you give me one of your lucky numbers to play on?" "I have no lucky numbers," said Bond unsmilingly. "I only bet on even chances, or as near them as I can get. Well, I shall leave you then." He excused himself. "You will be in excellent hands with my friend Felix Leiter." He gave a short smile which embraced them both, and walked with an unhurried gait towards the case. Leiter sensed the rebuff. "He's a very serious gambler, Miss Lynn," he said, "and I guess he has to be. Now come with me and watch number 17 obeying my extrasensory perceptions. You'll find it quite a painless sensation being given plenty of money for nothing."
what happened there? All of a sudden the audio of Casino Royale came on.
Well, yeah, that was me.
Why?
Well, he was stumbling with his words.
Oh, well, you might, you know I've got a speech impediment.
Well, I'm not getting at that, am I?
Well, yeah, you better not do that bullying, you know.
Yeah, I thought you liked Bond.
Well, obviously I like Bond, but I don't want to be hearing it, do I? When we might be doing audio about this tense, watching this, this high-tech footage of GTA 5, innit?
What are you babbling on about?
Well, technically, the producers want us to do comments about what we're actually physically watching. Like, we should be commenting about the GIMP and what's gone off-roading completely with that lorry, and obviously we've got the opportunity that, this is going to slow him down, or it, or whatever it, I don't know what sex the GIMP is, do we? Well, there's all sorts of different genders, so you've got to be very careful with that now. Well, yes, but the point is, we will not be getting excited because look, the game is messing up more, making more time, because the rules are, if our time's quicker and the game, we win.
Well, yeah, it will state the bleeding obvious.
Yeah, but some people might not know, and then when you put in interruption of Casino Royale on, we won't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, but I did it before.
Yeah, we know, it was bloody annoying. Stop bloody doing it, because we're not getting on to the next challenge. Well, obviously we are. So, right away, because we don't want that other person complaining, do we? Well, no, we don't, because that other person, in the whole wide world, sends comments, and our producers do pay attention. So, obviously, as you can see, that we've got a driver, and obviously, we all know who it is.
No, don't, you're wearing a mask.
I know I'm wearing a bloody mask. Obviously, I don't want people bloody recognising me on the game, do I?
Well, everyone recognises the geek, but other people dress up as a geek as well, don't they?
Well, yeah, I know, but what it is, right? Our producers want us to build this into high tension and excitement. It's like, look at this hiker in the way, and I brutally murder it. Well, yeah, it's the game, innit? You know, come on.
You actually aim for that hiker?
Well, yeah, because it makes it more exciting. The more hikers you run over, you get stars, and the producers want us to have a bit of police action.
You're going a bit slow there.
Well, yeah, I was, and yeah, I was struggling to get round that leading corner with this lorry.
Oh no, so we're gonna watch you like messing about. Oh, you've got a big rock in front of you now.
Well, yeah, now, so I'll reverse a little bit, so I'll let all the rocks get out of the way, and then I'll try to get into gear or whatever. Obviously, on a video game, you don't have gears on this one, on this GA. I mean, it will Grandma Trizio you do, but it's a different game, everyone.
Yeah, so obviously that's what we call the best automatic, aren't we?
Well, obviously, I know that.
The audience might not know about it.
Well, it doesn't matter about that, does it? Well, it does matter, because obviously the tension is that you're stuck. I'm not technically stuck, it's just I haven't got the power to get up there yet. But, well, obviously I know what I do, but obviously the tension is that, you know, the audience is watching, and obviously you're seeing that timer ticking by, and I've got to beat the game, haven't I? And obviously, yeah, this is how treacherous it is and dangerous or whatever.
It's not that dangerous, you're on a bloody video game.
Yeah, but if it was real life, I mean, it would be, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, there's prodams what do that for real, don't they? Driving on dangerous roads and that, and people have to do that in their life. What are you doing now? You're getting out.
Well, yeah, I'm properly stuck now.
But that's it. End up challenging it.
No, because we got the technology of the blamp gun, or the alien gun, as I like to say. So it doesn't say anything about the rules.
We didn't come out with any rules about getting out of the vehicle and unstucking it like that.
Well, didn't no rules saying I couldn't do that, is there?
Well, I suppose not, but, oh look, you're stuck again, aren't you?
I'm not literally stuck, I haven't got the power, but I do get it up there, I know that.
Well, you do, but we don't, do we? We're just watching his footage now, because we all go into, you know,
everyone bloody knows that we all meet up and watch each other's videos, and then we comment about them. But all of a sudden, now, you're obsessed with putting James Bond on.
I thought you liked Bond.
I like Bond, but bloody hell, it's bloody weird with you, because you're getting obsessed with the backs and stuff.
The producers want me to do that because they want me to watch the films in book order.
Yes, I do know that. Well, you did ask him, didn't you? Well, I know I asked him, but bloody hell, it's like the bloody obvious, isn't it? Look, we might be building the, you know, the tension of this, like you're driving on the edge of the cliffs, and it's snowy weather, and you can slip off and crash any time. We got to build the expense of that.
Like the James Bond book, like Casino Royale, where Bond is gambling.
Alright, fair enough. I can see where you're getting at with Bond and all that, though. But this is driving out a bloody mountain, isn't it? Like me on two wheels and then turning over, and then all of a sudden this happened, and yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get out again, aren't you?
Well, I do get out, but obviously it's a little bit, you know, a bit different what I get out for.
Why is that then?
Well, the thing is though, I'm literally stuck.
Well, you just get your big stupid little alien gun out. Seems like the producer done all.
Well, the timer's ticking, and obviously As we all know, the Gimp did it in 6 minutes and I've got no chance. Because obviously, you saw the Gimp, that it goes to the one end of the dangerous road, turns back round and comes back, and obviously, you ain't gonna do it, are you? But it'd be quite interesting to see me at least finish the challenge. And did you? Well, this is it, you can carry on watching.
Yeah, but now it's getting a little bit boring watching you just stuck in a ditch, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but the tension's meant to be there, isn't it? You know.
Oh, you're proper stuck there.
Yeah, but I've got that gun and I can easily shoot it out. But obviously, yeah, you're right. There's no way I can shoot that out. So I got out and yeah, admit defeat when I looked at it. Yeah. So, you tried, didn't you? Well, yes, but the vehicle is properly stuck, and then I find out I did something.
What?
Well, obviously, I totally destroyed it by doing that, and yeah, that's it. You know, the timer's off. Because, you know, it is the end of the challenge for me, so sorry lads, I've failed.
So, we're best moving on to me. Look at me, I'm not messing about, I'm doing it old school, as everybody used to always remember, that we all used to get an articulated lorry, and the rules were if you lost your trailer, that was it. But it's a little bit different. Everyone's been using different lorries, haven't they?
Well, yeah.
Well, I thought I'll stick to, you know, the additional as we've been meant to be doing it.
Alright, okay, fair enough. So you're an articulated lorry. So, and we're gonna see if you can beat the Gimp in this vehicle.
Well, yes, because obviously the Gimp was in a smaller lorry, but obviously, can I beat the Gimp in one of these vehicles?
Well, yeah, we can see how you get on then.
Well, obviously, you know, the tension is building up, that you can see me getting round there. So, you'll be thinking, this is a good opportunity for me to play a little bit more of Casino Royale. Why?
At all costs, a scandal must be avoided. Bond held onto the brass rail. He looked confused and embarrassed. He brushed his hands across his forehead. A momentary faintness, he said. It is nothing. The excitement, the heat. There were expressions of sympathy, naturally with this tremendous game. Would Monsieur prefer to withdraw, to lie down, to go home? Should a doctor be fetched? Bond shook his head. He was perfectly all right now. His excuses to the table, to the banker also. A new chair was brought, and he sat down. He looked across at Le Chiffre. Through his relief at being alive, he felt a moment of triumph at what he saw. Some fear in the fat, pale face. There was a buzz of speculation round the table. Bond's neighbours on both sides of him bent forward and spoke solicitously about the heat, and the lateness of the hour, and the smoke, and the lack of air.
I gather you're coming out with a point with this then, Captain Gorgeous.
Well, not specifically, it's very tense on them moments. I mean, when you think about somebody watching me driving on this treacherous road, imagine if you was off and you was writing about this situation. How would you express that when you can't actually visualise it, but you've got to do it with your imagination?
Oh, bleeding neck.
Well, that's how books work, don't they? I mean, they only have to express it with words. I mean, if you've thought about now the technology of YouTube, like other people can express their views and points, but what about the whole wide world? We can interact with everybody, but everyone has a point of them, you know, just get on with it. But the point is that people talk different languages. So how do you express that?
Well, obviously by vision, don't they? And music, what gets you into that mood.
Exactly, and that's how movies do. Yes, alright then, you've got like, you know, it's got to be in English or something for us, or maybe for some of us.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you're not really good at speaking English, are you?
Oh, because I have a speech impediment, right? That's bullying again.
No, it isn't, it's just stating facts. But I am trying to come out with me going through the book before I've been introduced to the film, and obviously I'm not impressed with it being in black and white for some reason.
Oh, bloody hell, we're not going back to that.
But it's a bit different from the book.
Look, can't we just talk about the tension on what's going on?
Well, yeah, but obviously you know the dangers of this road.
What are you doing right now?
You can gather it's snowing.
Well, yeah, I know it's snowing.
Well, what happens to vehicles?
Well, they slip off. Trailer's on fire.
Well, I can gather that.
Now what are you doing?
Well, I'm going across the river.
Well, isn't the challenge over now?
Well, yeah, because the trailer broke.
So, that means it's on to my video, and obviously you can see where I'm going to do the challenge in a articulated lorry, same as like Captain Gorgeous.
Yeah, but you've got twigs on the back of yours.
Yes, I've got sticks at the back of mine. Well, big logs, I would say. Oh, dirty logs, man. Ah, man. You got some problem with logs? Well, yeah. Right. I came over and my brother left the floater.
What? What?
Oh no, not them type of logs. Well, yeah, but it's the same word, isn't it? Well, yes, but no, these are trees then. Well, yeah, we'll verify each trees. So obviously I'm on the timer, as you all know, and I'm going for it, and yeah, it takes a certain skill. So for somebody what's called Captain Know-It-All, you don't know how to drive a lorry, especially driving it like that. Well, it just happened, right?
You crashed, didn't you? Look at you, rubbish.
Well, tragedy, yes,
You crashed.
well, yes I did.
Like you're rubbish at explaining about James Bond.
Well, what do you mean?
Well look, pay attention to this, right? It all starts off like that. None of you two ever actually told me about what car that was in that Bond movie, because you make a big deal about me to do the best automatic. I need to know about the most famous hoarder of cars, especially if you're collecting them, right? And them die-cast model ones, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, obviously you've been collecting your beloved corgi ones, and we all know where it's fair in that you were taking the you were taking the mickey out of me because I didn't know who James Bond was, but we were involved with them beloved corgis, weren't we?
Yeah, the corgi cars before Mattel got their hands on them and that.
Well, yeah, because Barbie's in charge of them now, aren't they?
Not as such. Not as such. It is when you think about that movie, Barbie. I mean, that's what I think about all them die-cast cars and all that. Look, the movie comes into your head, criticising the bad toys they made and all that lot. But it's like even the cars were weird, weren't they? You remember when Barbie, that advert, she's driving down the street, she sees her friends and her car gets excited because all of a sudden it gets longer.
Oh yeah, the long extended car, that was weird, that. It started off as a two-seater.
Well, it was still a two-seater, but it got longer, it got leg room and all that lot. Now imagine car manufacturers are thinking like Mattel, designing one of them cars for real. I don't think they'll do that, having a car what gets erected all the time. Well, yeah, but don't forget, Barbie is meant to be an educational toy for girls, isn't it?
Yeah, so a car getting longer when it gets,
Well, hard or excited. And it's a Mustang and all.
Yeah, and he had that strange commercial and all, didn't it, back in 1994?
Yeah, it did, didn't it? I used to do all sorts of gadgets and warn me of Bond because it's a red Mustang like you did with that previous bit.
Well, yeah, it's red, but it's a convertible.
Yeah, but it's like a Bond gadget vehicle though, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, you press a button and you can crash the people at the back.
Right.
That does sound so cynical, that.
Is that why you played with it a lot then?
What do you mean I played with it a lot?
The car!
Oh yeah, my sister had one and I thought it was comical doing that.
What, crushing her little Barbies in the back seats and that?
Oh yeah, but it was an ideal car, right? I think a lot of people wanting to manage that. Instead of buying a limousine, you get your girlfriend and never mind the reclining seats. You take her up, the say in the back seat, press a button and you extend your vehicle so you got plenty of leg room.
You might as well put a bed in the back of it or buy a van.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people do that, didn't they, for?
Well, yeah.
But it was a very strange commercial though, don't you think?
Yeah, it was weird.
Come drive with me and get a neat surprise. The new Barbie Mustang, stretching out before your eyes. Our Mustang is cool like never before, stretching out till it fits full. With so much room for so much fun, our good times have just begun. The new Barbie Mustang, bringing everyone along. Barbie Mustang and dolls don't move or stretch by themselves, but you can stretch the Mustang. Dolls and other play pieces not included. Come drive with me and get a neat surprise. The Barbie Mustang, stretching out before your eyes. The Barbie Mustang, bringing everyone along. Dolls and other play pieces not included.
Doesn't that give you memories, Captain Gorgeous?
Not really. It's like you trying to cause memories with the previous episode by showing your pathetic trailer in black and white. I didn't understand all that.
Oh, you mean the 2CV challenge? Where we're all like, we couldn't afford the 2CV Ferrari. Well, technically, it is just a 2CV being chopped up with a plastic body.
Yeah, but the point is, at that time when you were doing that challenge, right, you were taking the mick out of me.
What do you mean?
Well, talking about Bond what had won, and I didn't know who James Bond was. Never mind that he went, driving 2CVs.
Well, yeah, that was our challenge to actually drive them vehicles, isn't it? I mean, we picked them up at that national airport, didn't we, Huddersfield, didn't we? Well, we had them all airlifted in. Well, sort of airlifted in.
Yeah, a bit of a slight exaggeration on that, wasn't there? But yeah.
I mean, thing was, we were meant to get the cheapest off-roading 2CV off-roading vehicle. You got it right, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
But, Captain bloody know-it-all. What? They said a 2CV, not turn up in the Citroen, Diane. Well, what a bit of luxury. More like you're a bloody snob.
Well, obviously it must be. But the thing is that the challenge was something to do with having us driving, the classic corgi cars.
Well, obviously because Mattel were doing the James Bond vehicles.
But this isn't to do with Bond at all, was it? It was just to do with Citroen, about back in the old days where they used to have Stanage Tunnel, and the idea was that we was meant to race a electric canal boat, because in the old days when people were smuggling Yorkshire puddings into Lancashire, they used to use that type of vehicle, didn't they? But obviously it's illegal, so
we had to sort of like fake it a very lot, didn't we?
Well, yeah, with that green screen stuff into it and all that lot.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of a problem having yellow car because Bond drove a yellow one.
That you had to sort of like mask it a bit, didn't you? And it didn't help with Captain Know-It-All's well, did it?
Well, yeah, it didn't, did it? Well, that's the standard colour it came in, that corgi vehicle. Well, there's different ones. You could have painted it at least. Well, yeah, they told us to do that later on, didn't they? But, yeah, that was the episode what got banned because obviously with the illegal activity, so YouTube weren't happy about it, were they? Well, now,
like I wasn't happy about nobody not telling me properly how like James Bond's in black and white.
we already try to explain all that by making our videos like black and white to give you that nostalgic feel, and that's what it's meant to be doing, some form of that psychology.
Still don't get it why it's in black and white for.
The only way we can explain it is it gives you that nostalgic talking about the past, so it's done in black and white.
Like, wow.
Well, you know, like you had to pay for your TV license in colour, or you could buy, you know, the not black and white.
Well, not how many people have black and white TV sets.
Well, that's what we're getting at.
But it's not a black and white TV set we're watching, are we?
Well, no, but it's in the past. Like when you think of the Second World War, a lot of all that was filmed in black and white, wasn't it?
But they did have colour cameras.
Yeah, but there wasn't much variety of everyone having them luxury of having cameras in colour, did they?
No.
But everything you see in black and white is in the present. It's like the interview. That was done in black and white.
Why were they interviewing me in black and white for?
When I became an actor, I never fantasized about playing James Bond.
It's like people fantasise about the James Bond books because back in the days when they were out, people were still on the rations on, you know, because the Second World War and that.
The rations?
Well, yeah. You know, like they were watching them old classic YouTube videos in the cinema.
What are you on about?
Them newsreels, they were filmed in black and white.
In the early dawn of D-Day, June 6, 1944, the largest battle armada in history heads across 80 miles of rough channel water from England to the northern coast of France. Barrage balloons and a massive concentration of air and surface guns protect the 4,000 warships, transports, barges, craft of every kind in the invasion convoy. Here is the major striking force of the greatest military undertaking the world has yet known. Here, after years of building, equipping, training, after months of minute, intense tactical planning, here is the decisive thrust at Hitler's Europe. They strike at the widely publicized Atlantic Wall and help smash it to pieces. Now, just offshore, the convoy unloads. Heavily armed troops swarm into barges to head for shore and the assault on France. A Signal Corps camera slate tells the story. Went in D-Day, each hour plus 30 minutes. Medical corpsmen attend our wounded. The first Allied casualties were back in England again by evening of D-Day. The battle goes on. As quickly as possible, the infantry must move on in to re-establish contact boatload with boatload and to join with Allied troops who landed behind the lines by parachute, glider, and transport. Heavy equipment comes in, essential for the battle against the Nazi reserves. The great race begins to defeat Marshal Rommel in the all-important race for supplies. German soldiers, once guardians of the West Wall, are now prisoners of the Canadians. Now they have given up the fight. And now we have taken the most decisive step of the war, invasion of Western Europe.
Right, I still don't understand why it's in black and white, though.
Well, the books were very popular because, you know, of the rations and listening or reading about, you know, James Bond eating posh toast and all that lot.
Wartime America faces the greatest demand for food in her history. Food for our Army and Navy. Food for the invasion front. Food for ourselves on the home front. Food to help our fighting allies and the people of the Allied countries. It takes pounds of food a day to keep a soldier on the fighting front. Millions of pounds of food each day. The best way to supply our men overseas and our fighting allies with most of the foods they need is in dried form and in cans. In addition to the military, other factors affect our canned food supply. Take tin, for example. Our major peacetime sources have been cut off by the enemy. Our railroads and other transportation facilities are being taxed to their utmost, carrying munitions, armaments, war supplies, and troops. That leaves less shipping space for civilian foodstuffs. And then there's the farm labor shortage. All this means that we at home will have less canned fruits, vegetables, soups, and other processed foods for our use. Without rationing of these foods, some people would get more than their fair share. Others would not even get what they need. But rationing assures everyone of his fair share. That is why your government is rationing canned fruits and vegetables and other processed foods. Until now, we have been rationing one item at a time, like sugar and coffee. But processed fruits and vegetables are not one product. They are hundreds of products in hundreds of different brands, grades, sizes, varieties. In cans, bottles, packages, in dried and frozen form. One cannot say, as in the case of sugar, each citizen will be allowed 2 cans of peaches a week or 4 cans of spinach. It may be true that some people don't like spinach. Some of you may want to buy canned corn. Others of you may want to buy canned peas or spinach. So the question arises, what method of rationing can be used so that each citizen may get his fair share of canned fruits and vegetables and other commercially packed foods, and that will still allow freedom of choice?
I don't actually get why you're showing these old historic films.
Because it's old and it's in black and white.
But why is that?
Because Ian Fleming had that idea of writing bomb books and people on rations, and they like the bomb books, and you're just bloody stupid, aren't you?
What are you insulting me for?
Because you're just a nuisance. So, on that stupidity, we're ending the show.
What do you mean by that?
So send it quick.